be here tonight with this fantastic group of 8th graders. We have had so much fun and exciting adventures in the past 6 years. I am sure most of you can remember packing up and moving out of Raleigh to venture up here to the middle school. But before we did that, we enjoyed being chased by Wolfman at Clark's Trading Post, designing t-shirts to wear for the last parade, and signing our red caps to be tossed during graduation for BRS. Then we started new memories, like going to Enterprise City, and of course, being given a ticket from the friendly police officer for stepping on the grass. They were going to put me in jail. These young ladies and gentlemen will truly be missed by me. I don't know if I can do this. There's never been a dull moment together, but a lot of good times. Just last week we had our semi-formal. These students were perfect. They enjoyed a wonderful evening. Of dancing and socializing. I thought I could do this. All right, this class has never been a group that just sits around and waits for something to happen. They are always willing to let me know when they are not pleased with one of my decisions. They guide me in making better informed decisions. These young men and women will always be a group that will work together to solve problems. I will miss them. And I want to wish them the best of luck at the high school. Thanks.
Good evening, Superintendent McKinney, school board members, city council members, administration, staff, parents, and most importantly, our students. As I look at our graduates and see their bright and shiny faces, I can't help but marvel at how far they've come since they've joined our Franklin Middle School family 4 years ago. Graduates, you arrived at the start of your 5th grade year nervous, excited, and not knowing what to expect from middle school. However, you soon began to adjust to the bigger building and having more than one teacher. In 5th grade, you got to participate in Enterprise City, which allowed you to run a city all by yourselves, where Mr. Barber almost got arrested. You also learned about Mesoamerican culture and demonstrated that newfound knowledge during your Mesoamerican night. You got to sample native cuisine, listen to Mayan raps, and watch a digital presentation. From what I hear, you made great gains in writing and higher order thinking that year. Your 6th grade year was a busy one as well. You were separated into 2 groups and had different teachers. You learned science from expert guest speakers. For example, you learned about the science of whale's tail from a field scientist, which resulted in a pretty sweet field trip. At the start of 7th grade, you got to meet new students from Hill, who quickly became new friends from Hill. You got to learn from the wise Mr. Sylvester, and you would soon come to love the skill of talking in the 3rd person. You got to learn about elements from Miss Martin and learn to appreciate her love for our planet. We got to experience firsthand the battlefield at Lexington, where the knowledge Mrs. Davis instilled came to life. In my class, you learned about public speaking and perfected your debate skills, which I'm sure your parents and current teachers greatly appreciate. And for those of you in my homeroom, you got to experience my not-so-graceful belly flop and skid across the floor as I tripped to answer the phone. Suddenly, you're 8th graders. Where did the time go? You're the top dogs. You're looking forward to the events that once seemed a lifetime away. The DC trip, Semi, Canopy, and tonight. It was so nice to see you shine as 8th graders. You were the force behind our athletic teams, the backbone of our band and chorus programs. You became rock stars to the kids in the younger grades, whether you know it or not. You were busy learning about one of the most exciting times in history from the great and always amusing Mrs. Berthollet. You studied the courageous and horrendous acts that came out of the Holocaust from the knowledgeable Mrs. Irving. You also got to learn math from one of the sweetest, most entertaining teachers, Mrs. Henderson. And who could ever forget Mr. Foss's epic guitar solo at the lip sync? Speaking of our amazing 8th grade teachers, I would like to acknowledge them tonight. As you know, our beloved 8th grade teachers are moving to the high school or moving on to other endeavors. On behalf of the FMS staff, I want you to know how much you'll be missed. You've done so much to better our school. You gave your time, cared for our students, and taught them so much. We wish you love and luck. I want you to remember one of my favorite poems by Robert Frost. It might sound familiar to you. Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sink to grief. So dawn goes down today, nothing gold can stay. As you move on, remember to stay true to yourself. Don't be afraid to be creative, to be different, and to hold on to your childlike wonder. Don't forget to be curious, compassionate, and caring. Don't forget to save your pennies for a rainy day. Don't be afraid to dance or celebrate life. Don't forget Jeffrey or the dumpster. And of course, class of 2015, remember to stay gold. Do it for Johnny.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabbed you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this task, don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind and hang it on a shelf in good health and good times. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on child. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this task and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind and hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on child. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. time of your life.
Autumn L. Brown. Christina Brown. Molly E. Brown. Krishna L. Clark. Jasmine R. Coffin. Micaiah S. Creek.
High five. Oh. Duh.
Lauren R. Proto.
She's a real smart one. She doesn't even know what a high five looks like.